Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, All in a Day's Life. We're back out in the garden today and I'm just going to show you the sweet potatoes. I'm going to cut off some slips so that we can repot them and make some more for next time. So all I'm going to do is cut off the slips, the long ones, and I'm going to put them in water. I've got myself a little a tub here with water in it, and we're just going to put them in there so that we can, so the roots start to come out, and then once the roots start to show, we can start cutting them and putting them into pots, and then letting them go for a while so that we can get some more into the ground once they start growing a little bit. But this is how I've grown all of these sweet potatoes you see behind me. I've got another bed in front of me here full of them. And these are the purple sweet potatoes. You can generally tell by the arms and legs here. I'll show you once I cut some off, but you can tell they're purple. So I'm just going to cut the slips off today and we're going to put them into some water. I just thought I would show you that. So this is how I've been doing my sweet potatoes. I'm pretty sure I only started out with, well, I had a few plants in this one, but in this sweet potato garden bed that I've got in front of me, I only started with one sweet potato for that one. And all I did was get the slip and put it in water, wait for it to grow roots, and then I planted them into the ground and they just grew. So we haven't taken any out of the bed yet, but once I've taken these slips off, we'll be able to see, well, I'll keep the slips and put those aside, and then we might dig up one to see what's going on underneath the ground, because they've been in the garden for quite a while now. They say it takes about 120 days to get for the sweet potato to grow. So, and if you leave it in there longer, apparently it's no good for them. So we'll just dig up one and see what it looks like to see if the bed is ready, and if that's the case, then we will be digging up the whole thing and seeing what we've got here. So I've never tried the purple sweet potatoes before, but I'm interested to see what they're like. And I've heard that they're full of antioxidants, apparently more than blueberries. So we'll give it a go. So we'll start cutting off the slips first so that we can keep them to go again, because obviously you don't get seeds for a sweet potato. It's just a sweet potato that you can use to grow by yourself. So if you ever want to start a sweet potato plant and you don't have any slips, all you need to do is get a sweet potato that's an old one, let it go for a while. Just keep a small one. If you've got a small one, just let it go for a while in your kitchen. Just leave it, just forget about it even. Like, I'll tell you a funny story in a moment, but let it go. Leave it somewhere you're not going to use it, and let it grow some roots out of it. Like, it will start growing, it will start shooting out. And all I did with that, I know that there's plenty of ways you can do it. You can just stick a sweet potato in the top of a jar, and it will start, the roots will come out the bottom and it will shoot from the top. I've not done it that way before, but we have had some that have started growing in the kitchen that we just forgot about. And the funny story I was going to tell you was when we moved into this house, we found one just in a box somewhere. So the guy who packed all our boxes to move here, he just threw everything in boxes, and I'm talking everything. He didn't like throw out rubbish or food or anything. He just put it all in a box. So we found a sweet potato that, I mean, it's no good to eat obviously, but it'd been there for about a year and it had some shoots. And we just stuck it in the ground thinking, oh, what the heck, let's just give it a go, we'll see what happens. So we just threw it in the ground and just watered it a few days, like often, when we would water our plants. And now it's growing in the backyard. I'll have to show you it after. But yeah, so it's already started growing some of these leaves, and that's all we did. So I've I bought a few from the shop, just like mini ones in a bag. One of them's already started shooting, so we've put that one in the garden out the back next to it. And I've kept the other small ones so I can do that too. And those ones are orange sweet potato, because that's generally what we eat in our house. I've never tried these purple ones, so it'll be interesting to see what the taste difference is like. So let's get on to it. Let's start clipping off some of the slips, and we'll put them in water and hopefully get some roots growing out of them soon enough. Alright, so I've got my tub of water just here, and all I'm going to do is cut them off and put them in there. So this is a slip here. This long thing that's coming out of the ground, we're just going to cut it off as far as we can find. There's plenty in here, plenty. Okay. See, so this is a slip. It's just like a runner basically, and see how it's like purple? This is how you know what colour the sweet potato is going to be. And all we're going to do is plop that into the bucket of water and hope that some roots come out. So I'm just going to show you what I found when I dug up some of the area here. There's a big patch of just nothing. So that's what I mean about the leaf cover, is you can't really see too much about what's happening underneath. And that's another thing, when you go watering them, make sure you're watering the ground and not just the leaves on top, because the leaf layer is so thick the water might not get down to the roots. So we're going to see what's underneath, but I'll just show you quickly that what I thought should have grown but didn't. In here you can see, if you can, let me get rid of all this grass that's grown through. Right here, this little guy, he was obviously from the main plant, but I'm not really too sure what's happening here because there's no leaves or runners coming off it. I'm not really too sure what's happened under here. So again, we're just gonna have to start digging some up and see what we find. So I've just got you down here with this thing. I'm not really too sure what we're gonna find. I can just see a lot of ants crawling out of there, so I'm not really too sure. And I'm gonna be pretty careful about ripping it up, because I don't want to puncture anything if there's anything in here. So I've never done this before, so I'll find out. I'm sure if there are people out there that do the sweet potatoes all the time, they're probably thinking, that's not right, that's not how we do it. But this is my experience and this is what I'm sharing. So let's see if there's anything in here. It doesn't feel like there is. I can see some roots, but I don't think there's anything going in under here. Yeah, see, I don't think he did anything. He didn't even have any roots really. So I'm not really too sure what's going on there. So I'm not really too sure if we'll find anything on the other end. See, I'm seeing these purple roots here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm not really too sure where they're coming from. But it's obviously not this plant here. I mean, I don't know how far we have to dig down, but... So I'm not seeing any roots here. I'm seeing any potatoes here, sorry. There's roots and stuff, but yeah. not sure. So this little guy had nothing attached to it. It doesn't have any roots, or there's hardly any roots on there. I'm not sure what's underneath the rest of it, but I have a feeling that's just gonna go lead us to another plant. So I'm thinking we'll just leave that and not disturb it anymore until, yeah. So there's nothing in there, so that's a bit disappointing. So I've got the slips and I've just put them in the container with water. I've put a fair few in here, so I might have to thin them out and get another container of water to put them in. But this is it so far. And there's water in here if you can see. But I've got so many in here. And now we just got to wait, see if they grow some roots into the water, and then start thinning them out. Once they start getting a good root system on them, then we can start planting them back into the ground, or pots or whatever, however you want to roll. I did buy some off some people who were selling them, the slips, and they were just in pots. So I can definitely put them back in pots and sell them myself, or keep them for next season, or once we clear out the garden bed that the other ones are currently in, then we can get them back into the ground and start getting some more, because that's really the only way you can grow sweet potato is from previous bushes, like previous plants that you've already had, or you get your sweet potato and you do what I said before about waiting for it to get some growth on it and then put it in the ground like you do potatoes, or you can put it in a glass of water and let the roots come out into the water. I've not done it that way personally, but I have seen other people do it that way. So I hope this gives you some idea of how you can start your own sweet potatoes, either with some slips or your own, or just sweet potatoes you let go for a while in the house. So yeah, this is just how I've done it. So this is just, you know, what I know, and plus I don't even know if they're growing or not, so we'll see. So stay tuned to see what happens with the slips and when we start digging up the garden bed, and yeah, hopefully gives you some inspiration. We'll catch you later on my channel, all in a day's life.